where most of our citizens cannot even use it. So we should make that a super complex where as many people in our community can use it as possible.
Okay, I like that. So tying into legislation and solutions, we talk about farm reduction, education. So the mayor played part in educational setup of the city. I've seen you say things about programs like the Birmingham Promise Program and other things that are happening that most of us would think are positive things. But what is your position on education and programs across our city?
So 100%, I think all of us support education. I think all of us want the youth, the next generation to have scholarships. So I'm 100% for it. The other thing I'm super concerned about is trades. I have 20, almost 25 years in engineering, construction, and manufacturing. So I'm always looking around a variety of trades that is. So that's the area I want to make sure we do because there's a bunch of entrepreneurship in there, and there's also other things in there. There's a lot of jobs in the world you can think of. But then back to Birmingham, just recently, everybody goes on Birmingham Facebook page, Ryan Rice community there. Unfortunately, I believe the program, the idea of Birmingham is awesome. You know, based off Kalamazoo, but the way it was created, I agree with that. About 5 days from one of my DOJs at the island on Facebook, breaking down how it was done and recognized inside City Hall. So when you think about it, the city council, the mayor, the attorney, they all have $10 million approval. They're all aware of all the violations. And they let it go through. So the next time someone wants something from the city, they have a lot of emotions because we have comprehensions. I want to make sure we remove those as much as possible. I believe in the program. We cannot be putting staff before the people of the city of Birmingham. I don't like it. It's not how it will go off.
All right.
Any questions or thoughts about that part of it? Speaking about the educational plan for candidate Rice.
Yeah. So and there's always more and more to it. So the other part that I want to add to the education side, we as in Birmingham, we focus a lot on Birmingham City Schools and what they can do. We have to be committed to the Birmingham City Schools, but then also how do we commit to
those home schools in Birmingham? How do we also commit to those have private schools in Birmingham? We want to build up the entire city and make it more attractive for everyone to come back to Birmingham. I got too many invites.
Sounds good. So bring it in. I'm just focused on the city school system, which most people would think like the Birmingham. That is the city school system. That's what we all primarily educated. But now looking at the educational options and the things that the city is doing.
Yes, I mean, we need our resources, and we need to support the community just like we support everybody else. But then we also have to understand the that Governor Biden signed the law a year or so ago. So that gives students and families a chance to use originally public funds, private schools. So we know that's going to be used more and more. So how do we support everybody who's in the city of Birmingham? I'm looking at it from a holistic point of view, and not just from a singular one school.
If you are having any technical difficulties hearing the show on social media, listen to the radio again. Listen to the app. Let me know if you're not coming to listen live on your app or devices as well. There is a board sheet. It's a board sheet sound or whatever that is, but that's how we run the radio station. And it's a disconnect from the radio to the computers. So that's it. I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm not an engineer. I sound like a technician. So we've been doing it 25 years, and however, and you want to listen to the radio, we sound good there. So, just like a crime reduction, there are other major issues that the mayor and the mayor's office are responsible for. And I think the issue that there's other things that issues. What are those responsibilities of the mayor that you understand? That I could get everyone to understand.
Well, at the end of the day, the city is a municipal corporation. we got to get down to just the basics of what it is. When you start talking about essential services, there's a variety of essential services that we have been complaining about. A lot of us are concerned about potholes and the amount of funds that we put towards demolition, things like that. There's a, when you start thinking about the venues that we're with, it's all urban, whether it's Ridgewood Field, whether it's the zoo, there's a lot of different things. We also got to talk about capital budget. I remember sitting down with David Hayes in 2021. He did an interview with me, and I was concerned with capital budget. Even what I saw then, we were spending about $5 to $7 million in incentives and on capital projects. And what I was seeing at that time, and that became too much. We were spending about $6,000 of the 5 to 7 million
area with the Sears store. The
To hear from them, feel free to call in and do that.
I know. They betterment of the common go hand in hand. You can't have a thriving Miles College can't thrive if the city's not thriving, and the city can't thrive if Miles College is not thriving.
Okay. Miles College has to thrive. The city has to thrive. It goes hand in hand. I was in Auburn for the 4th of July, and I saw that same energy. Everything in Auburn is about Auburn.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Fairfield is this big, and it surrounds Miles College. So that
Right.
only makes sense to me. And I'm glad that you said that. Didn't I kind of link you into Miles College?
Yes, you did. You helped me get a job at Miles College.
I love, so you think about like just relationship and
Right,
connections, and
right.
you can see your people moving in the right direction. And this hour is dedicated to my people. For that fact, I have a lot of relationships, a lot of connections personally, but this is more about the people who you just simply know are working and moving. It's
Right.
about that more than anything. So I think the people deserve to hear so they can make an educated decision on the 26th. It's okay, good. Thank you. So yeah, hope that
Sound working
works.
now?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I want to bring in city council candidate from Birmingham into this conversation. And I think we can share this space because you all have a lot of similarities when it comes to how you know what the plan looks like, some of the important features of your campaigns. Jonathan Hatten is running for District 8 in the city of Birmingham for city council. And welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
You have played it so cool all campaign season.
Yeah.
You have set in your space. You had mentioned the thing about what you're doing. You've been doing what you've been doing. You've been being vital, but you've also been running a campaign.
A whole campaign.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Indeed. So that is the unique feature. Two vital members stepping out to take on leadership roles to represent all of the people in your areas for what you believe in. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Then we're going to bounce back and forth between you and Seth for the rest of the hour.
Okay.
Where you come from and what you're doing.
Okay. Originally, I'm from Fairfield. So to hear my
It's
brother,
more connection.
6500 Mile Mastic Boulevard. It's interesting to hear him talk about Willie Mays because my father and his group of guys started a club, Men of Distinction. And every year they will host that Easter egg hunt. That was something that they personally took advantage of. And people came from Birmingham, Bessemer, Midfield, and would come to Willie Mays for the Easter egg hunt. So pretty much vested. The Hatten clan is from Fairfield, and we're there. Got several members that ran for office and held office in that city. It's a dear city to me. We moved to Forestdale when I was 8, back in 87. And I chose to go to Ensley because my brother was killed on a motorcycle accident his freshman year. So I kind of took it up. Hey, I'm going to finish what he started.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So graduated in 96, went on to Jacksonville State, pledged the greatest fraternity in the world, which is Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Came back. Father was ill and dying. Came home to see about that. Started Miles in 2000, finished in 03 with a BA in political science.
All right.
Before leaving, I was the president of Poli Sci. Shout out to Barbara Nunn, who's the greatest professor in the world.
Barbara Nunn.
Yeah, man.
It's okay, Miles.
Went on to state, went on
Okay.
to West Alabama, got a couple of certifications and some education was on the way.
Okay.
Local pastor, pastor of the greatest church on this side of the Jordan, Mount Moriah, Noah Pratt. Educator, I've been in the classroom. This is year 15. I teach AP government, teach psychology, and I teach U.S. history. I've been married 15. My wife and I just celebrated our 15th anniversary in July. Got a son. He's 22. He's out in Boulder, Colorado, doing his
And that
thing.
boy giving us the full rundown.
And
Yes, sir.
I am a community guy. So mental health is my niche, my advocacy. Community and church is my bridge. I don't believe you can separate the two. If you have one, you have both.
Mm-hmm.
And I love children.
Okay. So let's bounce those back. Because
All right.
he said some things that kind of play back to said
All
with the organizational ties, the church, like all of this kind of is a full circle moment for me just to watch you all in these spaces. What did you hear that you didn't say that he said that sounded like something you should have said?
I think he kind of hit on the highlights. I'm not married. I guess I've been working in kind of like community organizing in political spaces
Forever.
since I got out of college. So that's roughly about 15, 16 years I've been doing that work. So I've always loved government. I've always loved politics. I've just loved trying to get things done, really. Trying to do things. And, I know government plays a big part in that. So, like I said, never had that desire necessarily to be a politician, but I did want to be in those spaces where that kind of lives and goes to be able to get something, bring something to pass.
Yeah. Okay. He mentioned his fraternal organization.
Oh, yeah. He misquoted and said the greatest organization in the
heard.
world. But the greatest organization in the world would be Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So everybody's allowed to make mistakes every now and then.
All right, then. So speaking like with these ties that we have, now we have, just a real conversation about homeboys and homegirls repping their areas, repping the people in the city, repping the people in the district. When you start talking about the issues in both communities, Fairfield to Ansley, and then I didn't even name all of the areas that you'll represent, J Hat. Let me look and see, because I know you've named them before. Let me see. We got Bellevue Heights, Bush Hills, Central Park, College Hills, Ansley Highlands, Fairview, Greymont, Thomas, Rising West, Princeton, Tuxedo, and Tuxedo Heights. One thing I can say, I ain't touched all them, each one of them, so I can say that.
What's crazy, I got about 2 streets in Fairfield. That's
Okay.
over in the Bellwood community.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because and matter of fact, my district that I currently represent, I have a few streets that's over like near Birmingham. So I know exactly what he's talking about on that. Yeah. So
see how much sense this makes?
Yeah, part of Bellwood is Birmingham and Midfield. So you got 3 cities in one community. You got Birmingham, Midfield, and Fairfield.
Listen, let's jump to that. When you talk about redistricting and drawing lines, I mean, if you're gonna draw something that makes sense, yes. But how do you all feel about what's happening nationally when it comes to these redrawings and who's getting what and all that?
It's politically motivated and based. When you do redistricting, it's not supposed to be based off of political parties and how many Democrats in this area versus how many Republicans. It's really supposed to be based off the population share. So that's one of the things that we're going to have to do in this new administration in the city of Fairfield is actually go through a redistricting process that may cause us to lose at least 1 seat and get rid of the citywide council president being up for vote and just having like how Birmingham and other cities have where you elected from where you are. And kind of even going back to what he was saying, like Ansley is a big part of me because like I spent a lot of time over there at my grandfather's print shop. So like I care about what goes on in Ansley, particularly on that 19th Street corridor. So
which was big to Brian Rice.
Right.
So that's the thing, like everybody's connected. And when it comes down to politics and election season, everybody's so divided. But one thing I've always admired about our crew is that we can still be civil and still bring it together. Like people can still share space and talk about what they want to do to make the world a better place. And on August 26th, you'll have an opportunity to do that. Thanks for all the tags and the comments on people who are watching and who should be watching. Come on in. Come on in. So when you think about crime, I don't hear a lot about crime in Fairfield.
A lot of our crime, I'm not going to say a lot of our crime. I believe a lot of our crime is kind of carryover crime because we're uniquely situated, right next to Birmingham, right next to midfield. I know sometimes I'll hear gunshots at night, and I'm like, that's not in Fairfield. That's like over in midfield. That's over somewhere in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So we may have things that start in one of those cities and end in Fairfield. So in particular, like even dealing with Miles College. Speaking of President Knight, it's been some shootings over in that area, or some things kind of going on in that area. And the president kind of looks at me and is like, well, you running for mayor? Like, and I'm like, hey, Birmingham right next door too. So don't put all this on Fairfield. So my approach and my goal is to bring everybody to the table. So Birmingham Police, Fairfield Police, Jefferson County Sheriffs. And
so you all do have police?
Yes. I need to put that out. We have always had police. So even when we're currently under a contract with the Sheriff's Department, but we have always maintained the police department. That never went away. So we're in the process of rebuilding it and hope to sometime before the year is out, go full-fledged back to our own police department and have the county kind of provide assistance and possibly put a substation somewhere in Fairfield. But we're looking to really go back to our police department.
All right. J Hat, same question for District 8, because we do know that it is present in District 8. Yeah.
We have a problem. One of the highest percentages of last year's totals, which being the last year was the highest year at 150 plus in the city of history of the city. So I think crime is really a very complicated, complex, and comprehensive thing. But I think crime is mine and mine is money. And when people start making money, they change their mind about crime. And so when you're dealing with crime, you have to deal with the economics, because that's the
okay.
When people are not working, they got other things on their mind. One of the things that I want to do is I want to create a 501c3, a District 8 nonprofit, where we can shore up some of our own problems. I'm under the philosophy that the government is not coming to save us. It's time for us to save ourselves. And to do that, we can secure our own funding from federal, state, and local, because as a counselor, you can even pour into that organization.
Okay.
I know I can't run it, but I can help create it. That's getting the 12 leadership, 12 neighborhood presidents to create a leadership council to do a District 8 non-profit and do a District 8 agenda. That agenda is what I fight for, because the people hire me with their vote. But also to return that, their needs is what I fight for. So if it ain't in the budget, it ain't with me. Because at the end of the day, in 4 years, they're going to be looking at me to hold me accountable for what we said we was going to do.
I know that's real.
And so that's what representation is all about.
Okay.
And that's the way you attack crime, proactively.
Okay. So like direct resources from the nonprofit, we can go out and we know what the issues are in our own neighborhood. We can go out and get the resources to bring those back in. Okay. All right. So what's happening in District 8 kind of flows right across the street to Fairfield. Like that's what I'm hearing. This is one of those collaborative efforts.
And that's why we got to work together.
Absolutely.
We can't be silos. Like crime is blown, kind of bleeding over from, excuse the pun, but it's going from, it's meshing. So, and like, even to his point, like I tell people all the time, I don't think we have bad kids in the city of Fairfield. They don't have anything to do. So one of my priorities is to get that community center back open and running, so we can have activities like we used to have when I was growing up in Fairfield that kept us occupied a lot, and bringing in workforce development, working with Lawson and Jeff State and other companies. We have U.S. Steel that's coming back on board. We have other different auto plants and all that, but working with these community college and technical schools to say, hey, we got plenty of building space in downtown Fairfield. You can set you up a trade school or some type of technical training school in downtown Fairfield to be able to give our people a way to be able to make income. People want to work.
Yeah.
Majority of people want to work. They just don't always have that opportunity.
It's so crazy. You talking about opening up some type of center. Somebody just posted a picture of what was it, Sitel? What was the one in Fairfield?
Oh, Sitel.
That was Sitel. Like, that's been vacant so long.
Yeah.
That's been vacant.
It's been vacant
Walmart.
since it was bingo.
Yeah, like what in the world? All of those buildings. Like, you all have so much real estate that is just there.
And to his point, most people that came from Fairfield, that like my pop's age, my mom's age, they remember when it was Fairfield Industrial High School. Right. And a lot of that vocation is where we need to redirect some energy. Everybody's not designed for 4-year school. And then once we see that the job market the market is really calling for those essential jobs. We found out during COVID what was really essential, right?
Right.
Vocation is never going out of style, but we went out of style with it. We took a lot of those programs out of the school. I'm glad to see they're coming back, but at the same time, that gave kids a pathway.
Yeah.
And with that pathway, they were able to learn themselves and learn how to make money. And again, going back to the crime, economics and environment. If you can eradicate those two things, you can build a healthy community. You don't really need the government to do crime monitoring. People monitor themselves.
Speaking about that, that kind of ties us into the mental health piece. Everybody's campaign in every level of government, they've tried to incorporate mental health now, and I'm happy to hear that because that means that they know what's up. What are your plans and thoughts around mental health and how it like we just talked about crime, working? Mental health is the key to everything. I can't really work if I ain't feeling and thinking right. And then I'm probably gonna do something that's outrageous if I ain't thinking and feeling right.
Right.
What are your thoughts about mental health and how are you looking at incorporate that into your campaign?
Well, it's one of my legs. It's actually one of my fresh perspectives. It's kind of funny to hear everybody talk about it now, but I'm the only candidate in this race, whether that's in the mayor's seat or the council seat, that has valued experience in mental health and knows what it looks like and what the complexities and the nuances of it.
Come on.
I also understand the addiction and how addiction can lead to psychosis, which is a big problem that we have in our city and in Fairfield.
And how poverty leads to all of it too.
So,
okay.
I want to pour into real mental health resources. Right now, we're pumping money into agencies that don't do effective work. Because I have done this work for 7-8 years, I know who is out there to get the job done. In the words of Big Daddy Kane, we just want to get the job done. I know those resources that can pull up. I know those resources that should be in the schools versus some of the ones that are in the schools. I know the ones that can go out into the communities and not afraid to offer their services because they're worried about where they are being in the community. So pouring money into the right resources, using all of the legs together from the drug addiction and to the mental health piece, because you can't treat the mental health until you get the addiction part.
Yeah.
So it's so many nuances, but nobody really understands it. It sounds cute, but everybody need to know that mental health is the root cause of our murder situation or our homicide situation.
Okay. In Fairfield, mental health.
So I through Terry Sewell's Representative Sewell's office, the Fairfield City School System was able to get a grant or funding for United Way to be able to continue to do those type of services in the school system. And I think that's real important that it starts in the schools. So you have to start it young. What the challenge is for us as a city being financially restricted and strapped is how do we fund that for our adults or the people that aren't in the school system? So so my goal is to work with some agencies. Because that's a part of public safety. You have to address mental health if you really want to combat public safety, because some of the calls that I hear our police officers have to deal with, it's strictly related to mental health. I've had people call me and say, hey, I had to call the police out here because somebody was trying to sleep in my car. And they didn't know, they weren't thinking about, oh, this somebody's car. They needed a place to sleep.
Yeah.
But that person had some mental issues, and we've had people walking around the city who, some of our officers or some of Miles College officers have encountered, and it's like, hey, you ain't took your meds today, have you? And they know. So being able to really do more community policing and relational policing to know that, hey, I don't have to pull out this gun. I don't have to I don't have to raise my voice. Like I can talk to this person as an individual and direct them. So now our biggest job is to kind of work with those mental health partners so when we do have those issues arise, we can be able to direct them to somebody. So I don't think, as mayor, I wouldn't want to set our mental health policy because I'm not a mental health professional.
Okay, but you would know to bring in stakeholders.
I would want to bring in a lady who is a mental health professional to come in and kind of lead and guide those efforts.
Okay, how come? Got me.
I think we also need to put them in the jails.
Yes,
and fund them properly. Those assessments can be critical to getting them to the right space.
Right.
A lot of times people are in jail because they made a bad decision.
Especially your repeat.
But when you get to the root cause of it, you're able to direct them and resource them out. And a person like Lady Wu or some of the other partners that I know, they do the work. So they know who's
They know who these people are.
who's talking for real and who's talking just to get a place to stay tonight.
Right.
So
They are not endorsed by Lady Wu. They just know the work that I do. So
yeah,
don't
we
be out there.
definitely-
Don't be out there. She must have. No, she ain't did nothing because she don't have a budget to do that.
No.
Okay. All right. So when we keep on moving though, we start looking at Parks and Rec in both areas. So I spent a lot of time in the Ansley Rec and in Ansley Park and in McAlpine Park because that's where I'm from. Then my mother's side of the family's from Fairfield, so I spent a lot of time. I went to tutoring up there in the projects at the Fairfield.
Yep.
Okay, so like there's just a lot of connections and the understanding of what the parks and the recreation centers provide for communities. What are your thoughts and plans for those pieces?
I think all of them camps need to come back. Camp Birmingham.
Yeah,
Let me get that
man.
lunch
Hey.
bag.
We had a place to swim. We had a place to play. We met people. Still to this day, I know
Yeah,
people from those
From camp.
from
Absolutely.
camps. And whether that was at Camp Birmingham or what that was at the
Playing
summer
PAT,
camp.
whatever.
The recs have to become functional again,
Okay.
but they need upgrades, and we need to just be real and call it what it is. They're not 21st century ready, and we need to make those spaces ready for the resources that's going to use them.
So
And that's
basically the same
kids and
thing
seniors.
Miss Collins was saying.
Yeah, that's kids and seniors.
Okay.
So my vision for D8 is to make all of the centers target those two populations. Our seniors are aging. A lot of them have dementia, Alzheimer's, and they need senior daycares. And then we roll around to our children. They need after school. They need places to vent. They like to rap and record. So we can have a game room. We can have some active goals. A lot of the recs don't even have good goals. The floors are messed up. So create some green space and allow them to get back active inside of those rec centers. We
Yeah.
say that they don't go, but they stop going because of how they look.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't want to go there. I got you.
They go to the jump park, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
For Fairfield, as I've been knocking doors since I announced, and I've not probably honestly close to 1,000, if not more than 1,000 doors throughout the city.
Knock, knock, baby.
Yeah, that's the way I know it. So as I'm going throughout, as I'm knocking on doors, I'm noticing that people aren't living in our city anymore. And I'm not talking about the bad parts, quote unquote, the bad parts of the city or rundown houses. I'm talking about nice houses, nice neighborhoods, and vacant houses, multiple vacant houses on some streets. So we have lost a lot of families. Fairfield was athletically ranked 5A. And 5A classification is based off your attendance or your population in your school system. We are now at 4A as of last year, which means we don't have a lot of kids and we don't have a lot of families in our city. So having strong parks and recs is vital to bringing back families to the city. So when I'm on these doorsteps talking to parents, they're looking for something or some activities for their kids to be able to do in an immediate area. And the main thing I hear is a lot is about how nice Bessemer's Community Center is or their Park and Rec Center is. And Fairfield needs the same thing. So I have been actively working to find funding for the community center. We need about $600,000, at least $600,000 in upgrades to that community center.
One thing I like about what you're saying, and you said it in several different pieces, is finding funds. Like, I'm gonna be the top citizen, and I'm gonna find funds. I'm gonna find the resources. I have heard a mayor in leadership say before that they didn't know how something was gonna be done. You might not, but if you ever get on TV and say that in the city that I live in, I'm gonna call you. Because what? You better go Google.
You're right. Chat GPT.
You hear me? So yeah, I'm happy to hear that there's some plan, there's some thought, there's some forward movement for your campaigns. Like, it doesn't have to be what it has always been. Well, we're gonna do a fundraiser. No, you're gonna do it modern. You're gonna upgrade.
In Fairfield, we can't afford to do things as we've always done. It has shown us time and time again, doing things how we've always done it does not work for the city of Fairfield, and it's about to bring us to extinction. So this is the most critical race in our city's history. And if
Extinction,
we don't,
my.
And if we do not elect a strong mayor and a strong council, things can go downhill very quickly in the city of Fairfield. So it's very important that we elect the right person because we're okay, but we're nowhere near out of the danger zone. So if you do not have someone that's going to be aggressively and pursuing things and pursuing the better of the city, and like I say, go in day one and say, all right, how we've done things at City Hall, we got to do things different. We're going to start doing training for our employees to make sure y'all know how to be not only do your job or serve your role, but how to interact with our city and our citizens and our customers. How to team building exercises. I've been on the council 6 years. We've never done one team building exercise. So different things like that, so we can all not only function better as a council and a mayor, but function better as a city government. We have employees that have been working for 10, 20 years plus, but their morale is low because they are not getting that investment like a training exercise would, or some type of workshop or the professional development would, to raise the spirits, to show that we care about your development here in the city of Fairfield.
I love to hear what I'm hearing. 994-8949 is the number. Second hour of the show belongs to City Council candidate Jonathan Hatten, District 8 in Birmingham, and mayoral candidate Cedric Norman for the city of Fairfield. These two are in a very unique position to make some major changes in both of those places. Like right across, like I can go across the street and be in the city and in the district of either or.
Right.
So this is a pivotal moment that no matter what you all do, what Tuesday looks like, there may be some opportunity where you can still dominate.
Yes.
No matter what happens. So I see that, I hear that, and I'm happy to have you here to show that. 994-8949. I see you all are coming back on the live stream, so that means that you can hear. Satan tried to sabotage. Hater! Let me play my organ music.
That's your mama.
Let me play my organ. Yeah, so you can actually listen on the radio right now. Thank you, Tiffany, for that. NormanForFairfield.com. Let's go, Sid. So we get some love in the comments. And then I wanted to tell you guys, if you want a guide, unfortunately, Fairfield is not in it. Tarrant is not in it because there's some races all around, municipal races happening. But we have these handbooks. I've always loved these. So like anytime we've done Vital Votes, we had these books, courtesy of Greater Birmingham Ministries. And they have like a small profile of each person. They give you all the dates, the municipal calendar, all of that. They answer a lot of questions. I'm going to leave these at the station. So it's about 20 of them. Y'all can pop in tomorrow, pick up one so that you can kind of look over it and see what you need to see and find out what you need to find out. Okay.
And let me just interject this, even with the city of Fairfield. Shout out to Cara McClure and Faith in Works, or Faith in Action.
Couldn't Cara.
Right. Yeah. So they did a guide, municipal election guide for the city
cool.
of Fairfield. So
awesome.
It's on their Facebook page, and I'll share it on my campaign page.
Perfect.
Cedric Norman for Mayor of Fairfield.
Okay, and we'll share it on our Facebook page as well, so that way you can see all the information about all of the candidates. So, what are some other things? I know, like when you think about the city, it's basic things, basic needs. I need you to pick my garbage up. I need you to make these folks get their dogs spayed and neutered, get them off the chain, stop tethering them to a pole, get the car that ain't been parked, though that's been parked in the middle of the street, moved. It's been there for 3 years with stickers on it. Make sure our utility companies don't get sold, like keep it private, all of the different things that cities are responsible for. Let's talk about those things. All of you live somewhere. Eddie, you don't live in Birmingham, do you?
I do not.
Oh, well. Are you satisfied where you live?
When I got here and got on the radio with you,
Uh-huh.
it's the first time I've ever been any form involved in politics, and it is absolutely overwhelming into Birmingham and surrounding area politics. As somebody from just a little podunk town where you was down the street from the mayor and the councilman lived across the street from me. Everybody knew everybody. I know who kids I was going to school with. Here, it is a completely different situation.
I got a text asking, was Eddie in the studio? I did. Then Kristen back there, you don't live in the city either, do you? No, see? Marshall, you live in the city?
No.
Get out. All y'all get out. But that's how these conversations go. It's people that can't even vote.
We have homes available in Fairfield. Anyone's interested.
We got to buy a clubhouse. We should get a clubhouse. So, cutting the grass. That is another concern that someone has posted. And I know District 8 got some lots that are overgrown. What's the role? Like, what is the role? What are your thoughts? Like the mayor, the city councilor, who's supposed to cut the grass? That's public works, ain't it?
It's really a slippery slope for us because our current mayor doesn't like to utilize tax dollars for private lives.
Okay.
Understandable.
Okay.
If it becomes a problem, they do. But this is a thing where the community has to look at it themselves and become good neighbors. Look at themselves and become invested in where you are. Part of our problem is we have a lot of transient people. Renters do not have the same mentality always as owners. And we got to start pushing ownership again. But we also got to just roll up our sleeves and get it done. It's time out for saying, hey, this person's not doing it. We need to have a house by house, block by block, street by street, community by community mentality. And that's how you get it done. Working over on the South Side, I see that. So a lot of people talk about, all how much resources go there, but they pour a lot of resources into their own community.
Yeah.
And so it's time out for business as usual. It's time to take a different approach. And that's why I'm offering a fresh solution. Get the blight removed so you can recoup businesses.
Yeah.
Then you can keep the businesses you have to circulate and to build your economy locally. That's my thoughts for right now. And even with Fairfield, like you just drive down Bessemer Superhighway, it's depressing.
Baby, you drive
especially if you remember what it used to be.
From downtown. I'm gonna say you start like right at the corner of 17th Street and 2nd. You can do 2nd or 3rd, right at that corner, and you drive straight through. You go under the bridge. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
You go a little bit further. What the heliante is this? You go a little bit further. You in the middle of 3rd. What the hell berry is this? It's like the further you go, the worse it gets. And then I get here to the station, and I'm like, well, damn, we got the crossplex, and the station looks nice.
Yeah.
And
got
then,
lights on,
Yeah, but then I keep going some more, and it's like,
yeah,
what the hell now is this? Because you get on closer to Fairfield, and I'm like, so ain't nobody saying none of this.
Yeah.
So therefore, that is why August 26th needs to make a lot of sense, because if nothing else but the thoroughfare, give me a facade grant. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think in Fairfield, some of the things that I touched on already with trying to get that $13 million going towards tearing down dilapidated houses throughout the city. I'm not a fan of working with people who don't want to work with us. And I think, we have, or the mayor's office has worked with some companies or worked with some property owners who aren't willing to work with us, namely the original Walmart building. That building is falling apart and falling in. Should have been torn down years ago. Whether we have the money or not, place a doggone lien on the property and tell the man, you try to sell this, like you got to satisfy the city first. And
right.
Just trying to do things to make these property owners. So we have property owners who try to rent their properties for exorbitant prices. So we have people wanting to put a business downtown Fairfield, but when they get back, you want how much for this building? For what?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not going to do that. What you say, the Heliante? No.
by the time I get down there, it's what the hell he on.
Yeah, right.
What the hell he on?
Right. So that so we have to be aggressive with our code enforcement. Code enforcement is the biggest thing that citizens have complained about when I go door to door, like, and just even in council meetings, just simple things like you say. You have overgrown lots. We have we put some more teeth in our weed abatement ordinance. Actually enforce the ordinance. Put these properties on notice that, hey, your grass is too high. If you don't deal with it, then the city's gonna step in and do something about this property.
I ain't lying. I got one for my life. I said, well, dang, it was raining. Like, I was coming.
Hey, but I mean, that kind of thing,
emergency.
You hear me?
But that kind of thing where you don't feel comfortable right now, people feel comfortable just letting their properties go to crap in the city of Fairfield, because it's like, oh, it's Fairfield. They'll deal with everything else look bad. I mean, when I've been talking to people on the streets, I just tell them it's almost like that, like the neighbor lawn wars. When you see your neighbor cut his grass, oh, what he think he doing? I'm gonna get out here and cut my grass.
Like that
so
no
a lot of people feel comfortable in our city right now because, well, my house ain't the worst one on the street. You still got that one, So when you start taking care of a lot of these things, people will start having a little bit more pride in their communities, in their street, because it's like, now my house is the worst street on the block, and I don't want it.
All right. I mean, hey, this is the conversation that you want to hear and want to have when it comes to who you're putting in position to represent you and to, like to really just know what needs to be said and done. All that extra, I can't even comprehend it. Let's bring it to the front porch. Because that's where it is. This is at my doorstep. So I want to have that level of conversation. 994-8949 is the number. What up, Errol Dwayne Minor? Pastor Erskine, Chris Erskine is in here. Victoria Haddon. What up, Jasmine? Rod, Jay and Core. is also in the comments. And all of the rest of you who are watching and listening, thank you for tuning in. If you've been here since the first hour, thank you for kicking it with us as well and listening through your radio. And now through the live stream. So I know at one point, and I'm gonna say this for both areas, y'all got a whole lot of churches in them areas. And I want to know, when it comes to like bringing the village back and restoring that aspect of community. You're a pastor, J Hat. I'm saying that like you don't know it, but you are. Jonathan Hatten is a pastor at a church, the best side of the Jordan, he says. What does that look like as far as relationship and community? Because both Fairfield and Ensley in the surrounding areas of District 8 have tons of churches.
Right.
What is that?
So I'm always going to look at partnerships, and I've always been about partnerships. Upon my arrival, even at the Mount, we now partner with 4 churches. That's one in Thomas, one in East Thomas, and one on the other side of Pratt. Because I believe that there's power in the punch when you come together. You also pool your resources. You can get more done, and one church is not pouring out of its coffers. But then you also get more manpower. And then that also spills over to the community. Because again, church is community, community is church.
Right.
And so one of the things I want to do with that leadership council, I talked about the neighborhood presidents, but the second arm of that is to bring in the faith leaders to get their input and their needs put into that agenda, along with the business community. It's time for us all to work in unity and in unison.
Mm-hmm.
Having the church to lead that, everything starts from the spiritual, in my perspective. So having the churches to do what they do only enhances the city and the communities to be able to do what they do. And so for me, that's my arms.
Okay.
I know for us, we have some churches that do some things in the community, but I don't think there's a unified voice.
Okay.
So one of the things I would like to do is do revive the Fairfield Ministers Association, so that our faith leaders in the city can have regular meetings and conversations about how they can be active and adopt their blocks and whatnot. So one of these things in action was Urban Hope Community Church. I know everyone has heard the news about Carver Jones, but that church put nearly $4 million into getting that store up and running. And they still play a big part in that grocery store eventually coming back or being redefined, renamed, remanaged, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So those are the type of things that we need from our churches to pour into it. So instead of 5 churches doing 5 different back to school drives,
my goodness,
we just have a citywide back to school drive where all the churches pouring their resources together to serve the community. So I think you have to have a leader that's going to be willing to engage these churches. I'm not going to say they don't want to do anything and they don't want to help the community. They just don't know how because they haven't been engaged. And I think having a strategic plan is a large part of that, because you can give somebody a copy of that and say, all right, where do you see yourself fitting into this?
Yeah.
Where do you see, what part do you see yourself playing into that? And they can say for themselves, we can help you with this, or we can do that. And now you have that kind of collective vision.
All right. I love to hear it. You all, got to get churches back involved with the youth to begin with. Absolutely. Holy Light Church, our prayers are those who running for office, for those who are running for office. God bless you, lady. Well, thank you for those blessings. And hopefully you are hearing like an enjoyable conversation about politics is always like super lit. That's vital. I want to do some voting right quick, get everybody engaged on this. We can do Birmingham and Fairfield. Okay. Most vital visibility. Which one of the mayoral candidates has had the most vital visibility throughout this campaign season? I mean, I know y'all don't live in the city, but yeah, the whole world has been watching. I mean, you can vote in the comments too. Most vital, like I said, vital visibility, not just being seen, but the visibility being vital. Who would that be for you?
It'll
What up, JP?
As far as the mayor,
yeah,
it'll be Woodfin.
Okay.
Because Woodfin was trending recently on TikTok by a lot of popular creators, Conscious Lee and several other creators talking about the crime rates going down.
Okay.
By 50%. So that was big at the moment when it was happening, because Nick Cannon even tweeted out. Nick Cannon tweeted out about the mayor at that point in time.
Okay.
So as far as positive and
vital visibility,
not just being seen,
right?
Then Woodfin, as far as the reach for that.
Okay. What you think?
I'll have to agree. I've seen and heard a lot about him. I've seen him more than anyone else. But also, of course, he was on the show. So that was super cool and inspiring to me. It actually moved me a lot. I loved meeting him. I think that was probably like one of my favorite memories from the show. To be
Go ahead then. Okay, so I'm seeing some names. Some people saying Scale. Some people said Scale. Somebody said Rice. Somebody said Gavan. That's pretty close. Collins has blown up social media since day one. Okay. All right. So most vital visibility mayoral campaigns. We're gonna go. I guess that's kind of split. Everybody got two. 'Cause we don't have a lot of voters. Hopefully, y'all will do better than two people voting on Tuesday. That's sad. Okay.
Scales has been showing up on my Facebook reels randomly. So that would be number 2 on my side because I hadn't seen anybody, and they were good clips actually, like informing about not the mess or whatever.
Okay. Most mayoral messaging. Who wins most mayoral messaging? Somebody said Cedric. Most mayoral messaging. Who wins that? Kristen, you jumping in? Most mayoral messaging. Jasmine said, Justin, I'll honesty the mess between Whitman and Gavan. I don't. That can't be the mayoral messaging that you're talking about. So we're gonna. Okay, Whitman. Danielle Wright said Whitman. Most mayoral messaging. I'm the mayor. I'm running. This is what it sounds like. This is what it looks like. This is the most mayoral messaging. Somebody said Michael Williams in Fairfield. I'm still waiting because it's like 2 votes each. Whitman. All right. Most mayoral messaging. That's gonna go to right now because this is right. That's kind of open. Let's see. This last one says Woodfin. Okay, y'all. I don't know. All right. Easiest message to understand. Easiest message to understand. Okay, right. Commercial and paperwork. Woodfin. Easiest message to understand. Like I'm speaking to my constituents. I'm speaking to my neighbors. I'm speaking to my people. Easiest message to understand.
I would say Mayor Woodfin
Okay.
as well. I think it's clear and concise and like straight to the point. It's no gimmicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woodfin. If listening to the other candidates, I don't know what's accurate and what's nefarious and what's between all of them.
Okay.
Again, outside of looking in, I'm like, what's right? I don't know what's to understand. What's the mayor council rule? When did that change? And I'm like, I'm trying to look it up, and it's like, there's no way to keep up.
Okay, we got a tie on this between Whitman and Scales. All right. Oh, and Cedric for Fairfield. All right. Biggest base for a new Birmingham. And we'll add Fairfield because I would hate to just like be talking about Birmingham with the Fairfield candidate here. So biggest base for new Birmingham. Which mayoral candidate has the biggest base for a new Birmingham? Okay, somebody said Michael K. Williams in Fairfield. Biggest base for a new Fairfield or Birmingham. Woodfin.
I'll have to agree. I would say Woodfin as well.
Okay.
I will say like since we've done like all of these shows on politics and stuff,
Norman.
Even with Mayor Woodfin, like I've never seen a mayor be talked about so much that would like even pique my interest to like go and see what his message is, like what he stands for. So I think as far as his role as a mayor, he's doing what he needs to do because he's like his visibility has led to my age group. Whereas like I've noticed that like a lot of older age groups are more into the politics and stuff, and like even a lot of the things that y'all see, it sounds like it's on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook a lot, so I don't see a lot of these things. But coming here and like I'm sure like I'm being informed, and I know the listeners are as well. So
girl, I always love when you speak.
So that last question was what?
Biggest base for a new Birmingham or Fairfield?
I think it depends on where you live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Time is ticking fast. 6 minutes. So when you think about all of those are just the categories for you all to vote in courtesy of me. That's not going to be on your ballot. However, Rice just got 1 vote in that area. I really like Rice, but he has to get off that one Inslee track mine. Okay. So fair advice for everybody. A lot of people say that Woodfin has won those. And let's see. District 1, Scales, Woods, Collins. Okay, great for you. So let's go back to the categories were vital visibility, who you've seen the most that has had a vital message, most mayoral messaging, who has spoken to the facts as far as a mayoral candidate, not just somebody talking and just being, no, who has had the most mayoral messaging, the easiest message to understand. I'm talking to people who understand things on their level. I'm not trying to go over your head. I ain't trying to, no. And the biggest base for New Birmingham, New Fairfield. So why is new important? Not to say that old isn't. Old is always gold. However, new is what moves us forward. That's where you see future. And I know that you said Fairfield could be extinct. I see it. I clearly see it. And then Birmingham could be, as a lot of people say, given away or taken, which in turn says the same thing. So that's why that last one is so important. Before we get out of here, I think this has been one of the most exciting conversations with candidates because of the connections. It's all about being connected. It's about connectivity, not only with the seat that you plan to sit in, but with the people that you plan to serve. And who's going to do it alongside you. I don't want to work with somebody I don't like every day. I will quit. So it's important. It is so important to really have some camaraderie in that connection. So give us some closing words as to what should happen on Tuesday as far as your races are concerned.
On Tuesday, August 26th at the Fairfield Civic Center, people of Fairfield should, at the top of the ballot, vote for Cedric Norman for mayor. I'm born and raised in the city, product of the school system. I have a real heart for the city and a vision for the city. I've been working as council, I have not been working to become mayor. I've been working to move the city forward and get things done. So doing that has allowed me to develop relationships with our federal and state legislators, as well as partners all over the country, with MLB, Atlanta Braves, and other organizations that are interested in coming in Fairfield. So we got to get to work. We got to shake things up. We can't do business as usual. So if you want something new, if you're looking for things to change, then vote Cedric Norman for Mayor Fairfield.
Okay.
Oh.
Stamp that.
Okay. Birmingham, particularly District 8, you got a decision to make. Listen, this race is very critical. It's just as critical as the national race. If we're not careful, we can find ourselves in the same space and place come Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
On Tuesday, I want you to think about everywhere you drive. I want you to think about everywhere you go in District 8. And I want you to look and say, is it better or is it worse? I'm offering you a fresh start, a fresh new beginning with fresh perspectives, because I'm actually tired of doing it the same myself. I'm offering you a chance to join me and roll up our sleeves, clean up our community. I'm offering you an opportunity to help me create this District 8 agenda. I'm offering you an opportunity to help me create this nonprofit so we can shore up and clean up some of our own problems. We can invest in our own jobs. We can invest in our own education, and we can invest in our own health disparities. On August 26th, from 7 to 7, I need you to get up and get out. I need you to rock the vote. And I need you to vote for someone who will show up, who will listen, who will love you, but most importantly, who will lead you. And that's me, Jonathan Lee Hatten, a fresh face for a fresh start.
All right. I like both of those. Sounds good. They say clock that. That's what's up. So two of the great candidates who are running in their areas, you all pay close attention. If you want to pick up one of those books, you can. They will be here at the radio station. You can just come in and get one. I got about 20 of them to give away, and you can see all of the information that you need to see. Will there be a runoff in any of these? I look forward to it, and we'll do it all over again. I know you don't. I know you don't. Sorry about that, but it might be, and if it is, we'll be here for it. Next Sunday, if we decide to come to work, we'll talk about it. Y'all enjoy your week. I'll be back tomorrow at noon. Be vital. Good night.
Peace.
Good night.
W235 BS Birmingham, WATV Birmingham. Courtney